Hey y'all, it's me. I'm back. I didn't think y'all was gonna be here, so I almost wasn't here. But guess what? Y'all are here. I'm here. We're here. Hey. It's Independence Day in the States, which is why I wasn't going to be here, even though I said I was going to be here when I wasn't here last week. But then I was like, it's Independence Day in the States. They might not come. But then I was like, you know what? I need to be here because it's every day's Independence Day for me. Oh my goodness. Hi, y'all. I did not mention this in the email that I sent out last minute because I literally decided 2 hours ago that I was still going to go live. Um, that I think I'm going to make this a twofer. I think I'm also going to make this the season finale of the Blaxit Global podcast because I think tonight's topic kind of wraps it in a nice little bow or heart as I made. Hey, hey, hey. So, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Krishan Wright. I'm the founder of Blaxit Global. I'm also the host of the Blaxit Global podcast. Blaxit Global exists to empower and inspire members of the African diaspora to tiptoe it out of the country that you was born in and go somewhere else for a better life. I am joining you from Lisbon, Portugal, where I am living my best life. Yes, I think I can say I'm officially recovered from last week's festivities. For those of you who do not know, last Thursday, I turned 50, half a century. Very, very big accomplishment, especially when I think about my journey up until that point. But goodness, woo-wee, I did it up. And then I realized I hadn't had a birthday party since I was 12. So I was about 38 years overdue, you know. And then today is my little fur baby's birthday. So Bailey is 4 today. She is. She's resting now. We had a very relaxing day. I was supposed to go to the beach. It was 90 today. But legit, I was still in recovery from last Thursday. I don't know how much of it is I had a bomb ass time and it's taken me a week to recover, or my body's telling me, hey girl, you 50, it takes you a little bit longer. So let's see who is in the chat. And also I want to say thank you for everyone who gave me birthday well wishes. Some of you brought presents when you came for our meetup a few weeks ago. Some of you sent gifts. Some of you sent money. It is greatly appreciated. And definitely to those of you who had the special exclusive invite to my birthday yacht party. I think some of y'all are here tonight too because you want to talk about the yacht party, which we will. I'll show you some pictures, some videos, some. But we will talk about tonight's topic. So let me start off with saying hello to everybody. I got a couple of announcements and then we're going to get into it. I took 2 naps today and I thought, I'm like, oh no, I could go live because I'm good. Action VJ was first in the chat. Hey, how you doing? And hey, Sister Geeks, hello. Marguerite, hey. Marguerite, we had fun. Yes, hey, Nicole. Yes, boy, anoint Renaissance woman. Yes, fellow Renaissance woman. Yes. Partay. Anya's in the house. Ah, thank you. Yes, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, Igami, greetings. Channel, greetings. Yes. I know, look, we waiting for you, Action BJ. I already gave my opinion on the subject. Yoga Bliss Dance. Yes. Look, independence. Yes. I know I did catch Miss Stephanie Perry, my zodiac twin, in Fiji, living her best life, welcoming 50. I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then when she was here in April in Portugal, we were like, why didn't we do our birthdays together? But it was like, you know what? We got to do 50. We each got to do 50 our way, right? But then we're going to have a birthday where, like, we're Cancer, like zodiac sign. So we got to do something. We got to do something. Next one, next one. But I'm so happy for her. Her and Rashida having a good time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Helen. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Jess is in the house. Hey, Jess. Yes, thank you for the belated birthday wishes. 50 is fine. 50 is fabulous. Oh my goodness. Wow. Like if I had to go through all of that shenanigans to get to this, okay. 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 Double T. Frederica's in the house. Hey, Frederica. Picky girl. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, girlfriend. Yes. Oh, Marguerite said. Y'all, Marguerite was on the birthday yacht. Nicole was on the birthday yacht. So, you know, they may be spilling some tea that I don't get to. Y'all hit them up. We have a channel member in the house, Maureen. Hey, 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 girl. Yes. Oh, are you back? You're in St. Bart's. Look at Miss Maureen is living her best life outside the U.S. too. Yes, yes. And I'm very excited about your recent updates. Yes, our Blaxit Global Passport members are getting up out of her. Let's see, what are we up to this year? Oh gosh. Let's see, we had 2 arrive 3 weeks ago today. So I think we're at 6 members abroad. I think this year so far. And the year's not done. And boy, the way America is American, y'all might want to get up out of there quick. Sonia. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Hello. Greetings from Senegal. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, LaRonda. Thank you. Marsha. Yes. 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 50 plus is true freedom. Oh my goodness. It is. Hey, happy early birthday. I don't know. I thought, it's interesting because I was on Adelia's channel a few months ago, and it was within days of my arrival to Portugal. And if you haven't seen it, definitely go to Piggy Girl Travels the World's channel and watch it. And she asked me this really great question about, like, this point in life, like when you turn 40, like something happens to women, especially, right? Black women, especially, where it's like you have this, maybe it's like an epiphany, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take control the reins. I'm going to discard whatever is not working for me in this life. And I totally feel that is what happened to me in my life. And then I did have another shift around 45. And now at 50, all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. Yes, yes, yes. I know. Yes, yes. Happy Independence Day from America. Yes. This is my first Independence Day abroad, I think. I think so. Well, 2 years ago, yeah, I don't think I was in Bali. Maybe I was en route to Bali. I don't remember. But this one counts. Maybe because I'm not 100% sure. I might have been in Bali 2 years ago at that time, but this is definitely the first one. So much so that I actually forgot. And that's why I said, oh, see you next Thursday. And I'm like, well, everybody going to be eating something. But y'all ain't. It's 47 of y'all here, so click the like button. Yes, yes, yes. See, Anya even said it. Give a thumbs up. Hit the button, hit the button. Yes. Okay, so, oh, hey, the ABX girl is in the house. Yes. Yeah, I know. It is something. And y'all been listening to the podcast. So you know my background. I spent 10 years in politics. So glad I got the hella point out of there years ago. Ooh, child. Shenanigans are still shenanigans. I still have loved ones there. I still have my money there, right? I still have a reason to care. I still have a reason to vote. But baby, let me tell you, the view is better from over here. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be lying to you if I said something different, and I'm not lying, right? When you get to half a century, the F's, you really don't have a lot left to give. You're like, I say what I say, I do what I do. Hey, oh, all right, birthday twin. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. So let's talk a little bit about this birthday celebration, right? And how that tied into what I see as going on as our Renaissance moment. So as I mentioned, I hadn't had a birthday party since I was 12. And if you saw the video from last week, which was like my 50-year retrospective with the images that I could find when I was back stateside, since all my photos are in Florida, one of the pictures actually was from my last birthday party, and it was of me playing a clarinet. I used to play clarinet. I played clarinet at Carnegie Hall when I was about 12. I had another life. Everybody does, right? So that was my very, very last birthday party. So I decided 2 years ago when I was in Bali and I was on a yacht for the first time, and I was like, oh shit, baby, I gotta do this. I gotta do this for my 50th. So that is when I hatched the plan. Then it was like, where is it gonna be? Am I gonna do Italy? Am I gonna do Bali? Am I gonna do some other part of the world? I really did think about Amalfi Coast, but I hadn't been, even though I went to Italy in December. I hadn't gone down there, and I was like, oh, and then I said, well, wait a minute. Portugal is my new adopted country. Like, I should celebrate here. And again, I wasn't even thinking about a theme at that point. So I found the yacht, and actually Teresa, who is normally in the comments, her and her husband were visiting, and she was at the meetup in June, the one that we recently had with our Black Utopia. And so her and her husband were visiting in December, I think it was, maybe November, December. And they took Halisi and I out to lunch. And then after, I was like, hey, I'm going to go check out this yacht. You want to come with me? Because, that's what I do in this version of my life. So they went with me, and we went. I was like, oh, yeah. I could see it. I was like, this is the one. This is the one. And still no theme, right? So I was like, putting it all together, put down a deposit, all this other stuff, figured out, how many people. And then it was like April, and I'm like, ooh, I should probably put this out on people's radar because I know it's the summer. My birthday, falls at a weird time. One of the other reasons why I didn't have birthday parties was because if you are a late June baby, school is done by the time your birthday rolls around. So everybody else gets to celebrate their birthday in school. And then you, half the people are away. They done visited grandma and all this other stuff. So it was it really wasn't worth me celebrating my birthday when I was younger. So anyway, I digress. So as I was putting my invitation together, which was the very first image of the retrospective, I was like, oh, I know what I want. I was like, Harlem Renaissance, right? Because y'all know I can go deep. And I saw the parallels. Harlem Renaissance is one of my favorite time periods in Black American history by, like, hands down. And it's the 20s, right? 1920s. And hey, we're in the 20s, right? 2024, we're in the 20s, roaring 20s. And I started seeing the parallels between the heyday of yesteryear, 100 years ago, to today, and then showing that eclipse and going from Harlem to abroad. Now, granted, I was born in the Bronx, and born in 1974. But you get what I mean, right? Like this cultural explosion, this artistic expression, like all the things. And from my conversations on the podcast and my conversations here and meeting all these fabulous people, I was like, oh yeah, baby, this is the one. Like it all came together that quick. And then I finished the invitation and I sent it out, and like I loved that like everybody understood the assignment because we looked fabulous, 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 fabulous. So outside of like, I guess maybe I'll segue into showing you guys some pictures, although the pictures look fantastic, by the way. But as I was getting ready for the live, was trying to share the screen, and it may not show well, but trust it looked good. And I shared a couple pictures. I'll share some more. But maybe I'll share. What do y'all want to see? Y'all want to see video first? Because video is actually easier. Video is coming up good. The pictures, on the other hand, it might show up small on your screen, but you can like freeze it later, blow it up, whatever. I'm going to be sharing more photos. Like I said, I was just trying to recover and digest. All right, so y'all tell me in the comments, because you know I like to keep this interactive. What should I start with? Photos? Because that's going to take a minute. I think there's like 10 photos. Or video. Jess said videos. She said videos. Y'all down for videos? Yes, I definitely want to check out the Amalfi for sure. Okay, all right. Ronika said video. Okay, y'all saying video. Okay, there's 3 videos. Maybe I'll toggle a little bit so that I don't have to like do everything in one shot. And we'll try. We'll try and make this work. But y'all bear with me. I know y'all want to see these things. All right, so it'll play with sound. Let's see. Let me see if I can make me. All right, it's not going to. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll take me out. And then this way you can see it. Okay, here goes the first one. They're short videos. Also because I don't want YouTube to come after me. So here's the other one. I'll play all 3. Why not?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I'm back. I'm here. All right. Last one. last one. And then I'm going to get to the pictures. Okay. Walking by yourself. It's so crazy. I have to say that I had so much fun, hence the reason why it's taken me a week to recover. But like, it's also the most extravagant thing I've done for myself in my life, hands down. Now, I take some epic vacations. Y'all seen the podcast image? That is a real image of me on the top of a roof in Greece. I've done Bali with the swing and all of that stuff. And I felt like those splurges, like, you know, photo shoots and stuff, that's definitely been a late stage life thing. But dropping that kind of money on a yacht, I was like, oh, baby, I done crossed over. Now, hitting the schmillion definitely helps, but being okay with going from, saving and investing to like spending has been a mindset shift, right? But I also realized in this stage of life, like, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, all gas, no brakes. Not thinking small. Like, my life is big, right? And there were times in my life where I've dimmed my own life and played small. And anybody who comes into my life needs to know my life is big. So it's like, if the sun is too bright, put on some shades. That's just it. you know? That is it. That is it. And y'all see, I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh my gosh. And look, I see Love Park Connection. She said, I want to party with y'all for my 60th. Yes, you know what? I have thought about my 60th because, jokingly, I said, for my 60th, I'm hiring a party planner. I'm hiring a party planner. And I did the playlist. And some of y'all that was at the meetup, right? A couple days, 10 days before, got to hear my birthday playlist. So let me see if I can get to the images. So like I said, I have them all in a folder, but for some reason, actually two things are actually going on. I'm realizing I need to juice my computer. Stand by. Okay. I don't want to lose connection. There's that one. And let's see if we can do some... Thank you. Oh, that's right. Right? Because channel members and Blaxit Global Passport members got to enjoy the playlist because they get exclusive content, which you guys will actually see more of the birthday pictures. Thank you. Thank you. I am in true bliss. In true bliss. I am. Thank you. Yeah, 50 feels great, I went back to Pilates this week because I did not go during my birthday week because I said, look, I'm turning 50. I don't want to tempt fate and accidentally pull a muscle because I wanted to be able to drop it and pop it. It was fun. We had a good time. Okay, let's see if we can get to these pictures. All right. This is one. Is my computer gonna do what I need it to do? Okay. It looks like it's showing, it might be small. Let me see if I could do one more thing. I was trying to work on it before we went live, but I don't know. If not, you guys, channel members, you'll see them. I'll post them for you. Okay. Let me see. I'm not going to be able to see this anymore, I don't think. Let's see. Can y'all see it? Because it looks small for me. All right, it looks really small for me. And as you can see, I'm running out of storage. Oh no. Okay, let me try this way. Okay. Let's see if I do it. You can see? Okay. I'm trying to make it big, but I can't see what you see because I'm trying to, let's see. All right, I'm gonna trust that you can see it. I may not be able to make them big, but I'm gonna make them as big as I can. All right, so that's a group shot. And You can see the whole screen, not just the pic. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, there's nothing incriminating. Um, I don't know if I double click it. I don't know if you can see it. You know what I should do? Look, I should have tested this. If I double click it, let's see. Are you able to see that? I'm gonna go on YouTube at the same time and see what I see. All right. All right, you still see it small. Okay, all right, that's gonna help. All right, okay, so makes no sense for me to double click them because you can't see, but you can see some of them, and I've shared some of them. See, you can see Bridget and Marguerite. You can see Tadasi and Mel. You have seen Tadasi on this channel. Go back to the group shot. You see some familiar faces. Yay! There's Nicole. There's Rick and Halisi. There's Marguerite. There's June and Penny who've been on the channel. Yes, some familiar faces, Bridget. And then my friends, Jen and Ian, whose daughter and husband just moved here 3 weeks ago. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This image, which is also the thumbnail. Look at everybody. Latoya and June and Penny. Crystal. We had so much fun. And June was profiling, y'all. June was profiling. Let's see, I think, was that all the images? No, there were a couple more, I think. Yep, okay. The fellas, it's Malcolm who's been on the channel. Of course, you know Rick, Tadasi's husband Mel. Hey, you know y'all, you know them, those two are Black Utopia. Shar, creator of the Expat app, and Nicole, who's been on the channel as well. Yes, 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 yes. Mel and Tadasi, yes. Everybody looked so fabulous, went on the theme. Tadasi made these cupcakes for my party that were amazing, 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 amazing. Me in my element. Me in my very best element. 50. You can see the cupcakes. The cupcakes were cupcaking. And that's like more screenshots of the video. Okay, let's see. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. I think it goes back to me. Yay! Yay! And so I picked a couple to show y'all, but literally, it's been, I don't even have all the pictures. Like, there's a couple of people that still like are sending pictures and uploading pictures. Right now, there's like 560 pictures and videos. So I'm like every day like reliving moments from people's, you know, points of view and stuff. So it's been really cool. It's been really fun. Yes, thank you, I missed you, but we shall toast it up soon. Yes, another channel member is here. Hey, Patricia. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Chef B is in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, definitely pinch the screen and zoom in. But like I said, if you're in Blaxit Global Passport, you've seen a couple of them. If you are a channel member, you definitely are going to see more. And that is why you too should be a channel member. Yeah, I was trying to get them big and all that stuff, but I needed to create like a whole slideshow and all that other stuff. I did not have that kind of time. Oh yeah, we have a group chat because it was 20 of us, right? Like I had the yacht. We had, obviously, like I exclusively chartered this yacht. So we were on the Teju for 3 hours, and it was amazing. Yes, yes, it is. It is a month-long thing, and which is great because I have time to recover before our Nomad Noir 2024 crew arrives. So for those of you who do not know, I am hosting a scout house for those of you who are interested in moving to Portugal. So our first cohort arrives on August 2nd, and they will be here for 3 weeks. And then the second cohort comes right behind them, and they will be here for 1 week. And for those of you who are interested in Nomad Noir 2025, I have dropped the waitlist below in the video, in the description, so you can find that. Join the mailing list. I will tell you when the dates are available and when spaces open. Spaces will be limited. So, be ready. But we're going to have a time. I have a lot of special things planned for our cohorts, and they're going to have a good time. They're going to learn a lot. But, I like to have fun while I learn. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And if anybody spent any time with me in person, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see, what other announcements? Some announcements. Redefining Life Abroad Virtual Summit. I am super excited to be a media sponsor for the Redefining Life Abroad Virtual Summit, which takes place in August. It is hosted by Michelle Wedderburn, who was on the channel a few months ago talking about Mexico, and Tracy Collins, who was also on the channel a few months ago. They have combined forces, and they are putting on this fabulous event. You can get your ticket below in the description of this video. And also, last announcement before I segue, is the tickets are on sale for our summit, the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit 2024. We are coming back. The feedback was so great for our first one last year. And we were like, oh, we're done. And everybody said, no, we're doing it again. So we are doing it again. Move to Portugal Virtual Summit is coming back in November. So you can get on the wait list for that. Hit the description and join that. We will be announcing tickets, early bird tickets, quite soon. I actually have my meeting with Rick and Lacey in the morning. We will be doing that quite soon, which is a nice little segue into tonight's topic, keeping with the theme of Renaissance. So, like I said, those of you who are in the United States, I don't need to go into detail. I mean, America is full of shenanigans. Just when I think you couldn't shenanigan anymore, another one happens, right? And so at that, plus there are a lot of countries that are in the midst of turmoil, dare I say, uprising in some cases, growing pains in others, and then full-out war, right? There's a continuum, there's a spectrum. But within that spectrum, there are also countries that tend to be on the more stable side. I would put Portugal in that realm, that are tightening up their immigration, right? I'm not going to, go and say because of what's happening in the U.S., like that's too much of a leap, but just to say that they are, and they are within their right. Mexico's doing the same thing. We're seeing some changes in Barcelona, in Spain. And so all that is to say, for people who keep creating arbitrary deadlines for themselves, like, oh, you know what, if the orange dictator dude, insurrectionist, comes into power, who will eventually become king, because that's what the Supreme Court basically did and said that they could do last week. I'm like, I wouldn't wait. I would not create a deadline and say, oh, I'll wait until the election. Don't do it, right? Just like other countries can change rules, America is a country, but it's also a business. And their business requires you to be a widget, right? And so you got to think about what's best for you, right? And your happiness, right? This is your Renaissance, right? You know the life that you want to live. You know the vibration that you want to be on. Because if you didn't know that, you wouldn't be here, right? And I'm glad you're here because I'm pouring into you like others poured into me. Like for the time that I was doing the podcast in the years leading up to my Blaxit, yes, I was doing that to help inform and inspire, but it was also informing and inspiring me when I was dealing with some shenanigans, right? But now I don't have to deal with shenanigans. Now I can live the life that I always wanted to live. And I said those words and I continue to say those words on the podcast because now I live those words, right? My dream is now my reality, right? Expectation and reality are one and the same now. And so I say first things first, you need to get a passport, right? I actually sent my daughter money and she went yesterday to take her photo because she has a passport, but it's time for a renewal. This will be her first one as an adult. As a child, you only get a 5-year passport, but as an adult, you get your 10 years. And so she needed to renew to get her first full-fledged adult passport. And I was like, oh, here's the money. Boom, right? Let's get this done ASAP. And on my son, he claims he has it. I've not seen a picture of it, but I'm going to take his word for it. But yes, first things first. Yeah, like it's time. And the gallivanting grandma is in the house, and she said, "Get out. There is nothing for me in the States. I just pray I can get my babies out." Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I have my mom, I have my children there, I have other loved ones and family, most of whom are much older, right? Because I think I've said it before on the podcast, my mom is one of 12. And so there was, and so she's like the middle of the 12. So I have my oldest living aunt at present is 87. On my mom's side, my oldest living relative on my dad's side is 92. So I have cousins that are in their 70s that are first cousins, and I have cousins that are, probably slightly younger than me, right? There's a continuum. Oh, actually, no. I have a cousin, my oldest first cousin is, I take that back, a year younger than my mother. So she's 82, is my oldest first cousin, right? So that said, it's like I have people there that I care about, and I don't want it to go left, but I am not the one who created the situation, right? And I thought I was doing the good thing and the right thing when I went into politics right out of college and tried to fight the good fight, and in all of the professions that I gave my time, my energy, my talent, my skills, right? Only to get, harassed, micromanaged, virtually kicked in the teeth, disrespected, underpaid, right? Micromanaged, overworked. And then this happened, this being the move that I always wanted to do kind of came back into the foreground. And with everything that 2020 was, and gave me the courage to grab the mic and talk to people that did not know me and I didn't know them, and to feel safe and comfortable. And knowing that it inspired and continues to inspire and influence people to do this is, my greatest professional accomplishment for sure. Personal, of course, is always going to be my babies, but professional, I would say, hands down, is this. And so, you have to be able to leave space for the unknown. You have to be able to take the leap. And nothing is 100% certain in life, right? And no one is ever ready to do anything. but you have to keep putting one foot forward, right? Who's ready? Was I ready to be a mom? Right? Twice, right? Was I ready to do anything in life? No. And it's not to say everything's popcorn and lollipops. It's not going to be without frustration at times. Look, it took me 205 days to get a residency card to finally leave the country. Um, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And so if you're hanging on to a house, get rid of that house, right? Because I say, not that I'm wishing it, but I say history repeats itself, right? You see how these people that have mega wealth, right? The billionaires that are buying up residential property, right? They're also doing the same thing. They're privatizing. Well, we already know prisons have been privatized, but you're seeing the same playbook as it relates to senior housing, right? See how expensive it is? For those of you who have parents that are elderly who may be considering that, if you think it's expensive now, wait till you get to that big old age, right? And so I see what's happening now. There were towns that we built and assets that were lost through eminent domain. Who's to say it can't happen again if you are in a neighborhood that somebody might think, hey, you don't really need to have that beautiful Victorian, right? Especially since if it's the orange one, there are no crimes that are committed while you're in the White House. Which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because if that's the case, then did Nixon really need to resign? It's so stupid. It's so asinine, but so on brand for America, right? When you know your history, when there are things that we have done, things that we have built, right? And they change the rules while you play the game. And what I'm saying is you need to be playing chess, not checkers, right? Think bigger. Open the aperture. Be the captain of your own ship. Don't wait for somebody to tell you, right? You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Kids will figure it out, right? I have two beautiful children. And of course, and I talk to them all the time, right? But guess what? It's not that they don't miss me. It's not that I don't miss them. But the space works because it's requiring them to build their independence that they probably wouldn't have had that level of comfort because, right, each generation is better than the last, right? I grew up in the Bronx, in Co-op City. My kids grew up in the suburbs, right? They've had a different life experience. They don't have the same like grit that I have, but they are learning to be more self-sufficient. Say that 10 times fast at 11:15 p.m. My mom is learning to adapt, right? I came back, I stayed. My daughter has come here. She's like, oh, that flight's not that bad. My son, he has yet to come, but he's like, oh, that's no different than me going to California when I go to see my friend, right? So all that is to say, things can work themselves out. There are people that are here that are in their 60s, 70s, who have parents that are alive that either they're planning to bring here, that they're managing from afar, right? There are solutions. Everything is figure outable. But you have to believe that for yourself, right? Like Marcia said, or Marcia, Black Wall Street, same thing, right? Same thing with Oscarville, right? AKA Lake Lanier. And what are they doing? Planning to put some daggone, I think a water park or some dumb shit on Lake Lanier. I'm like, Hmm. It's like the house is on fire. The house is on fire. Yes, there were, right? And so this is our Renaissance moment, right? Blaxit is not a moment, it's a movement. And so you have the opportunity to choose and to go in the direction of your wildest dreams. If I didn't do that for myself, I'd still be sitting in Florham Park in this like overpriced apartment and lamenting about and ruminating about all of the things in my life that weren't going well. When literally I get to design a life that I love, right? And I always talk about living life by design and not by default. This is the demonstration of that, right? Some of you have been following me for 4 years. Blaxit Global is now, well, as of last month, turned 4. Although, like, y'all been talking about parties. I'm going to digress for a second. There is going to be a Blaxit Global party next June, coincidentally my birthday month, when we turn 5. Just know that. Okay, I'm back. For those of you who are like, oh, let's do another party. Oh, I see Yakota is in the house. Yes. Yakota came and partied. Yes. No, it is not listed in the description, although there is a Blaxit Global podcast playlist. And it's seasons 1 through 5. I don't tend to put the current season up until it's done, and this serves as it being done. So I think tomorrow I'll start uploading the current season, season 6. But literally there's 69 episodes of the podcast. 69 episodes, right? So it's not just me, it's other people, other parts of the world, other income, education levels, right? You just got to do it. You just got to do it. You have to believe that the next step is there, right? I always use this analogy. I'm not really great at analogies, but this one I pretty much nail. It's like when you're a baby, or when you see a baby, right? Babies learn to walk. Baby seeing everybody else walking. And the baby's like, yo, now, this whole time from birth, baby is getting all their needs met, right? They're being fed, they're being changed, they're being bathed, they're being clothed. But they're seeing everybody, like, pick up a fork, eat food, walk around. Baby's being carried everywhere. Baby's like, I want to get down. I want to try this, right? Baby stands up, unsteady at first, boom, falls down. Gets up again, baby, till they take that first step. And then they're like, oh, and if you ever seen the baby walk for the first time, they have this, oh, wow, sense of accomplishment. Like, I can't believe I just did that. And they're like, I don't even know what muscle or whatever it did. And then they're like, oops, boom, right? Because they're top heavy. And then they fall down. And then they get back up. And then they do it again. And then they put that other foot. They don't fall down and say, that walking thing was just not for me. I'll just be carried for the rest of my life. No. So if you learn to walk, which I would imagine all of us have, right? And you've also learned how to master a language, because if English is your first language, or any other language, right? Plus we all know slang. Who's to say you can't learn another language if that is so what you choose, right? Stop putting limits on yourself. The only limits that exist are the ones that you create for yourself. So if you wait for that child who don't have a job to take over your house, guess what? Houses come with maintenance and property taxes and other things. Stop creating arbitrary limits. Now, I'm not going to say for somebody to get rid of their spouse just because I got rid of mine. Thank the Jesus. Right? But if that so fits in your life, do that too. I intentionally stayed single in the years leading up to my Blaxit. I've been single 14 years. I intentionally stayed single the last 5 because I know me. And I'm like, I don't want to boo up with somebody. And then, oh, I can't go. My money's not right. I got paid child support. I got it. Bruh. No. No. Now, I done raised the bar. I'm like, oh, well, could my future partner, or plural, have a yacht? Have a jet? Fly me? I want to get flued out. It could be all those things, right? Why? Because I said so, right? I can think bigger, right? Because I also heard a story not too long ago from someone who was supposed to be here and they met somebody and they booed up and they didn't come last year and NHR is gone and now they're like, oh shit. And I'm like, and now the relationship's over. And it's like, oh, that was a mistake. Once I started to think bigger, open the aperture, and I realized when things would be challenges would present themselves, I started realizing they're tests. They're tests to see if I have advanced, if I have learned that lesson so that I can advance to the next level. And also so I can impart some wisdom to others, right? And so sometimes I would like be met with resistance or something. And I'm like, what is that about? And I'm like, I got it. It's a test. It's a test, right? Instead of getting in my feelings, because, you know, Cancer, moon child, zodiac sign, we do get in our feelings. But I was like, no, it's a test. I can think about it differently. I can vibrate on another frequency. And in that frequency, you attract like-minded people, right? With the exception of my 2 friends that I showed you in the group photo, who I've known Jen for over 40 years. Everyone else in that picture I've met mostly within the past 3 years to like 10 months, right? Yeah. But we vibrate on a frequency. I was very intentional about my guest list, right? You call good people into your life. And, you know, it's not to say everybody in the world is good because we know that people like the orange one exist, right? But now, when I'm confronted with somebody who's not vibing on that frequency, I get rid of that real quick. You ain't got to tell me twice. You don't even have to show me twice. I am very observant because I'm an introvert. So if I'm not feeling the vibe, and I am who I am. Yes, there is a new one. I shared it today. Frederica said, yes, there's a new NHR scheme. Yes, no start date, but it's coming soon. New NHR. There are some carve-outs. So it's not as plentiful, as we'll say, as the last one, but yeah. Angela said, of course I hold space for future boo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing me because I know what I want in a partner, and I also know how I like to be approached. I want to be courted. I want to be courted. I try the online thing, and every time I try the online thing, I get reminded that it is not my jam. It is not my jam. I like to be courted. I do. I like to be wooed, right? So my future boo is going to know how to approach me. Now, if you happen to be driving a yacht, even better. Not mandatory. Not mandatory. It's a nice to have, or a jet, or the ability to rent one, as I did. Right? All gas, no brakes. There's what? I think it's 7.5, 8 billion people on the planet. Think bigger. 195 countries. Think bigger. If you go somewhere and it doesn't work out, oh well, go get another country, right? If Portugal doesn't work out for me, guess what? I already know where my next one is. I'm already. Look, there's 195 countries. Okay, so we have been at this, almost an hour. All right, I need to be focused. All right, so there's 20 parallels. Let me get to that. 20 parallels between Harlem Renaissance and where I see Blaxit fitting into this whole paradigm. And so I'm going to probably elaborate in some, but not others. Some of them will probably be more obvious. But one, I would say, first and foremost, it's a cultural explosion, right? So we are out here creating these vibrant communities for ourselves, particularly in places like Mexico, Portugal. You're seeing it in Bali. I had the team from Black in Bali a few months ago on the channel. You're also seeing these like enclaves that happen in countries that are predominantly Black, right? You see that happening in Ghana with the Year of the Return. Actually, the most recent episode of the Blaxit Global podcast features Benjamin Myers, who's talking about the compound that he built for he and his family in Kenya and the wonderful work that they're doing now. It is like we are transplanting ourselves in new places, and we are bringing our Black American culture and our in its full form. And of course, right, we are change agents, right? We bring our sauce, we bring the flavor. And so that is what I see as one of the biggest parallels. Literature, right? We have so many artists and people who are writing. We have, I featured when we had the summer reading list, one of our, she hasn't yet been on the channel, but someone who I have come into contact along this journey, Margot. She is fantastic, moved abroad, and she is like a food writer and has pursued that. We've had other writers, people who have written books either about their own Black experience or, novels. They've been able to birth different ideas because they were able to take themselves from one environment into another. Very similar to James Baldwin, right? When he left, and as I say this, if you don't realize it, see, because you can never see this, is the place in which I'll fit in will not exist until I make it. James Baldwin. That's my pillow. And James Baldwin, right? He's never far in my house. He's never far in my house. But again, right? Like I said, Harlem Renaissance, by far, it's my favorite time period. But yes, that and artistic innovation. We're seeing people push the boundaries in visual art. Music is another evolution. That's like number four. Music. Um, I'm thinking of like Nisa's Lounge in Portugal, right? Bringing jazz influence into Portugal as a Black American man, right? Creating this space that we can walk into and we know like there's just this familiarity. Like my favorite drink at Nisa's Lounge is Thug Passion, and I always think of Tupac, right? Right? Like they're just things that just speak to us. And when we can bring that and bridge that cultural, I wouldn't even say cultural divide, but it's more of a cultural exchange. Um, that is what this period is. There's also the intellectual awakening. Um, there's people that are bringing forth these ideas that make you think. I'm also thinking of our friend Stephanie Perry and her upcoming book. Like she's birthed a book, right, about job detox, right? So being able to liberate yourself from toxic jobs, toxic environments. I'm thinking about so many things that we've been able to do as Black people once we've gotten out of the confines of our home country, be it the United States or somewhere else. Um, there's community building, that's number six. Obviously, there's so many flourishing communities that I mentioned before, like Black in Bali, Black in Portugal, Black in Spain, Black in Tulum, like Black in wherever. Why? Because we are wherever we want to be, right? Black people have been migrating this floating rock called Earth for centuries. And so if there is a place that speaks to you and you want to go, right? Go check it out. Because even if you go somewhere and you're the first or one of the few, you're not going to be the only for long. When I came to Portugal in 2022 versus how it is in 2024, oh my gosh. And then y'all keep coming. Like literally, what, 2 weeks ago, we had 100 people here. And then a few days later, Average Journey had their meetup, and I think they might have had over like 600 people for their meetup. You know, it's growing, right? Word gets around. Um, Entrepreneurship, oh my gosh, like the amount of people that have been able to truly start businesses, and it doesn't have to be like this physical manifestation. It can be an online business, it could be a side hustle, it could be a passion project, it could be, multiple things, right? It could be real estate, like things that you weren't able to do for yourself, or there were so many barriers. And I think about Nicole, who may or may not still be in the comments, like bought a entire building in Portugal, right? Like the just that alone, buying a building, right? Not buying a house, like buying a structure with multiple units. This is something that, I remember my uncle having a place in in Manhattan in maybe like the 60s or 70s. When I was born in the 70s, but I think he had it like in the 60s or 70s. But that was like 50 something years ago, right? Not in present day. You know how much it is to own a building in the United States? But can you buy a building in Spain, in Italy, in Ghana, in Kenya? Can you build one? Like literally, if you listen to that episode with Benjamin Myers, he talked about how much it costs to build his compound compound in Kenya. And then there's social movements, right? You see the influence of what I see as like a developing area is, as Black Americans, there's about 45 million Black Americans. in the United States. And when we do migrate to other cultures, especially where either there's a smaller Black community, they're able to benefit from some of the knowledge that and experiences that we've had with civil rights and culture shifts, right? Um, and so I think that is something that has been beautiful to witness too at points where you might be in a country that has a Black population and the economics may not be, where it is for us in the West, but where you can share information, or lend your skills. And again, vice versa, right? There's always a cultural exchange. It's not one-sided by any stretch of the imagination, but that is how we also change and create the world in which we want to live. There's also economic liberation. Let me tell you, financial independence is a beautiful thing. It enabled me to retire. I don't even think about a job. Education. There's people that have been able to go to another country and pursue like advanced degrees or their first degrees because it's not crazy expensive. Like literally, because I get these market briefs every morning. In Columbia University, a 4-year degree is now $500,000. Like, make that make sense. An 18-year-old finally gets the right to vote, does not have the right to drink, can fight in a war, really doesn't have enough money to buy a house because wouldn't give them a loan for $500,000, but you can put them effectually into financial servitude to get an education that's supposed to enable them to lift themselves up by their virtual bootstraps. Okay. Yeah. A global influence, kind of talked about that before. Fashion. Woo, baby. We turn up and turn out. I've seen all kinds of hair color, fades, I think when you're able to be in an environment and people aren't like trying to touch your hair, worry about what texture you have, all of that other stuff, you can experiment. You can fully express yourself. I think you guys remember a couple months ago, I wanted to experiment with purple. And so I got twists in my hair and I had purple twists. I had like the blonde thing going a little bit ago. I'm about to do, I think, faux locks in a few weeks. But, fashion, people have become designers. People have picked up skills. People have, Picky Girl, who was here earlier. I don't know if she's still in the comments. But if you've seen Adalia's clothes, oh my gosh, talented, okay? And then she continues to like refine. She goes to these retreats and things like that, these sewing clubs. It's out there. Culinary. Shall I say Southern Gal in Portugal? Shall I say Miss Penny's Kitchen? And these are just the ones that are in Portugal. I mean, look, I know y'all are going to different parts of the world, and able to let loose. And what I love about Penny and Bridget, especially with them being here, is you have Black Americans that are here, right? And I have Southern roots. There are certain foods that I crave at certain parts of the year. or just remind me of, simpler time, and to be able to replicate that, right? And you have a built-in clientele and the ability also to expand by introducing these flavors to other people. I'm thinking also of Blaxit Cocina in Mexico City. I had Tiara on the podcast this season. And so having this like fusion of soul food and Mexican food and just all of that, right? You introduce this food to a whole new group of people. And these are people who this is their first foray, others this is like a re-emergence, a renaissance, right? Of sorts. These are things that you can do for yourselves when you break out. I think also one of the parallels, we're up to 15, is technology has enabled this movement to propel exponentially because we have social media, because we have podcasts, because, we have all of these different mediums that people can tap into to find information. So if you listen to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, you could also, listen to it on YouTube. You can see me live. We can have this meetup in person. You're really able to not only have the inspiration, but you also have the ability to have the tools at your disposal, right? You can come into Blaxit Global Passport. You can go to Exodus Summit. You can find other communities. You can go and partake in virtual summits like Redefining Your Life Abroad virtual summit, right? Like these are the things that you can do. And comment on that. I'm going to have Michelle and Tracy on as guests next week. So come back for that. Intergenerational, right? I have been seeing people who are my age and have their parents come and visit. Tadasi had her mom here a few weeks ago. I know of other people who have had parents come. Actually, my friends that are here, right? They're visiting their daughter who just moved, right? She's 29. They're my age. And so just being able to see like generations of people come over. I actually met a woman Saturday who emailed me a few months ago on LinkedIn about coming to Portugal and bringing her parents. And it just so happened we were at a wine event on Saturday together. And she came up to me. She was with her husband. And she was like, oh, yeah, my parents are going to be here next month. And, I'm really trying to convince them. And, just seeing that. Or people who come in their 70s and 80s. Like literally a couple weeks ago, if you remember on this channel, I had Kathy Hampton on here who's in her 60s. And she's moving to Porto, Portugal. And let me tell you, I hang out with a lot of 60-year-olds. They know how to party. It is not too late, friends. It is not too late. I'm almost at the end, and then I'll go back to the comments because as I'm reading, I'm not seeing what you're saying. So if you've been saying things and thinking, is she not reading? It's because I'm reading and I'm not in the comments yet. Racism. I'm not going to say racism goes away because it doesn't. As long as humans have been migrating on the earth, there's been racism, and racism is not unique to Black people, right? Anti-Blackness is, right? But it's to say that you're not going to encounter lethal racism most likely, right? Identity exploration. I think there are people that are able, and I put myself in that camp, to explore aspects of their personality and their identity that they've had to maybe mute in order to exist in their home country, that they are able to explore fully. Some people have been able to embrace parts of their sexual identity that they haven't been able to embrace in their home country because you're somewhere different. And like I said, mobility, very similar to the Great Migration, which my mom came up in the Great Migration from the South because there were no jobs, limited education. And then I would say lastly, because we're finally at number 20, the legacy of resilience. Every last one of us, every last one of you that can hear the sound of my voice, that can see me, right? I can't see you, you can see me. Every last one of us is a miracle. It's a miracle. I mean, have we not seen images, diagrams of how our ancestors who were enslaved were brought over here? These were not cruise ships, right? Some chose the sea. Some were thrown into the sea. Some died along the voyage, right? And even enduring centuries of enslavement. The fact that we are here in 2024 and we're able to connect with one another. I'm in Portugal, a whole continent away from most of you. Most of us are doing better financially, and sometimes, also educationally than the generation before us, right? Than our parents' generations. But every last one of them are miracles. You know how many sets of parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-grandparents there had to be just to get to you? You're a miracle. So, take them limits off. Find your freedom. Find your happy. That's a you thing. You have to do it. I'm merely here for information and inspiration. But the action lies with you. All right, I did my 20. Ali said, yep, 2 million died and never even made it to the shores of the Americas. Absolutely. You are a miracle. Okay, I'm going back in the comments, y'all. Thank you, Brown Girls and Bestie. I appreciate that. Thank you. My personal New Year. I like that. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. Yes. Oh my gosh, the cost of living is insane in the U.S. So for those of you who may have had any questions earlier, I'm working backwards, just so you know. Yes, hi, I'm Karen Louise. Yes. And you know what? You get remember I said I'm not that great with analogies. I want to preface this one. But you try to get the boat as close to the dock as possible, right? But, I got to a point where I was just like, okay, I saw what was there. I forgot what it was. Even 10 months ago, I think it was. Maybe it was 6 or 7. No, it was 6. I was like, oh man, I'm trying to get to the million. Oh, I'm at 650. I was like, it's close enough. And then it was 3 months later, it was boom, million. I'm like, oh damn. That was fun. Right? Don't overthink it. You don't need as much as you think you need. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yay. Yes, please come. We're gonna have fun. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'm gonna have the some of them if they're okay with being on Nomad Noir crew. uh, I do love the arts. Yeah, actually tomorrow I'm going to be watching Macbeth. So two of our friends, husband and wife, are acting in Macbeth at Open Air Shakespeare, and I'm so excited. I definitely want to throw my hat in to potentially act next year. I was years ago when I was in school. I did like that. What was I? I was a Kate in Kiss Me Kate. Yeah, but I would love to do that. I'm looking forward to celebrating them. I got it on Etsy. Good question. I got it on Etsy. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way to the Amalfi Coast and also Croatia, because Croatia has Yacht Week. I love that. Dating countries. Yes, I love it. I love it. Wow, where can I see myself? I haven't quite picked the country. I've picked the region though. The region is Southeast Asia. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get closer to New Zealand, but now, if there is a fine Maori man, then yes, I will be in New Zealand. But absent that, absent that, not a Kiwi. I want a Maori man. And I'm gonna go for a New Zealander. I want a Maori man, right? Cause baby, I've seen a haka live. And that tongue accent. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I think I'm almost at the top. I didn't see any other questions. Unless I missed. Michelle said, I made the mistake of putting off plans thinking certain things were going to happen in my career. Now I've got an entirely new direction, but I'm still out of that. That's right. You know? Gotta get out. Yes. I was the same way. I was like, I kept it on lockdown. I was like, I want nothing. Even now, like I'm like, this dude's like, oh, you 50? Oh, my kid's 8. What? Wrong answer. Because when I want to get on a plane, when I want to get on a yacht, when I want to get at anything, I needs to be free. Free, right? I always forget what side it's on. Freedom. Freedom. That's right. Ditch that dead wig. Yes. 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 Oh, I'm happy single. Oh my gosh. I treat me very well. I've taken me, to 8, I'm trying to exclude the ones that I went when I was partnered. So I've taken me to 16 countries, I think. Yeah, if I had to exclude, I've been to 18. Yeah, so I think 16 or 15 I did myself. And I'm just getting started with my new residency card. Hey, Teresa's in the house. Yes, this right here. Handwriting is on the wall, so move accordingly. Yeah, because the Supreme Court is the highest one in the land, right? So, and Project 2025 has already started, right? I'll say this about the Republicans. They have always, as one who used to be in politics, they have always played the long game. The Dems do not. As evidence now, I did not watch the debate. I was on the yacht. I had a good reason. It was my birthday. But I have seen some of the snippets. And I have seen the calls for Joe to go, right? And I asked myself, that was your floor? Like that was your, oh damn, he went to, a debate? I would have said funding a genocide, but to each his own. And y'all gonna pull this shit? What is it? August, September, October, November. 3 months before. Okay. Say what you will about 2025, Project 2025. Like I said, Republicans played a long game. They have a 925-page plan, of which some of that shit already been put into place. They've just been moving the pieces, right? I have not even seen a rebuttal of 400 pages from the Dems. Come on now. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. And they already said when Trump gets back in, should he get back in, he's undoing that student loan cancellation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's already begun. Yeah, because they lied. All those Supreme Court justices lied when they were going through the confirmation hearings. They lied. Yeah. And now they've delayed sentencing for the 34 felonies. It also puts the other cases at risk, which will miraculously go away. And then other people are going to be pardoned. It's not looking good. To quote Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, America, you in danger, girl. You in danger, girl. She said Molly. I said America. But you in danger, girl. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Yep. Everything. Get your slice of happy. Look, it's like my first 50 years had its challenges, right? But I would say I was at optimum health, okay? I do things to keep my body aligned. I don't weigh myself, so I have no idea how much I weigh, but I can say from when I arrived here to where I look now, especially judging from my birthday pictures, my body looks different. One, I'm eating clean because the food here is exceptional. Two, I have way less stress in my life. And three, I do Pilates. I do reformer Pilates. And I'm also thinking of incorporating gyrotonics because at this stage of my life, I'm not trying to get cut. I just want to be flexible. I want range of motion. I want to have the muscles that are enable me to sit down and to get up from a seated position, right? Whether it be a chair or the toilet, I want to be able to do that. These are the things that are a priority for me now, right? I want to be able to wash my back, right? I need to be able to make sure that everything kind of moves as it's supposed to. That's my priority. But the next 50, so should I be so fortunate, will still look very different than the first 50 because this body is changing, right? And so nobody has a crystal ball because if they did, I think they would not have. I mean, I wouldn't have believed it if somebody told me that it was going to get this bad, America. Whew, dang. Hmm. So you could storm the Capitol, all those people going to get pardoned. I mean, I digress. I digress. Get your slice of happy. That's all I can say. Get your slice of happy. I think I got it. I think I got it back to the top. Yes, I did. Okay. I'm going to crawl back to the bottom, make sure I didn't miss anybody. I didn't see any more questions. Yes, these are the hard truths. Yes. All right, y'all. Okay, so thanks for rocking with me. It is now 12:03 a.m. in my part of the world. I will be back next Thursday live with my two special guests, Tracy and Michelle. We will be talking about the Redefining Life Abroad Virtual Summit. I've enjoyed this kickback with you. I hope you also enjoyed seeing a snippet of my birthday party and continue to listen to the Blaxit Global podcast. We are now officially in hiatus, but we will be back with new episodes in 2025. Till then, ciao, ciao.